Hey guys, this is my tutorial for how to make waves with your wand. This is my hair. I just got out of the shower, and I'm going to show you the products that I put in my hair before I blow dry it, and then I'll show you what I use after I blow dry before I actually do the curls. So first I use this mousse from Garnier. It's not expensive, maybe $3, and you don't have to use any of these products, but I have pretty long hair, so it helps my hair not to fall flat. You don't have to use it. You can use all of them. It's up to you. So after I use the mousse in my hair, I put a little Bumble and Bumble styling spray / styling cream. I'm not going to lie, Bumble and Bumble's kind of expensive, like $25 for 8 ounces. It's a little steep. Don't feel like you need to spend that, but it helps my hair, and I do like it. I use Garnier Fructis blow drying, straightening. It doesn't really necessarily make my hair straight. It makes it smooth, so I use that. And from about midway to my ends, it just makes it smooth and not so dry because I get pretty dry hair, especially in the summertime. And I also like to use this Aussie Hair Insurance, which is just a heat protectant spray. Gives a little bit of shine. $3 at Walmart or any other store, honestly. Once I'm done with that, then I'm going to put a little bit more of the heat protectant spray before I curl. And I also, when I finish, do the B&B texture. It just kind of helps it give a little bit of definition of the curls without being super Shirley Temple curls, because that's not what we're going after. So I'm going to blow dry, and then I'll come back and I'll let you see how I do it. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'm just going to blow dry my hair and you're just going to watch me put these things in, because apparently that's what it wants. So I just spray a little bit of style in it just to coat it. Then I put the styling Bumble and Bumble cream, not a lot, as you can see, just a little at the top, around the root area, and I just pull it out and really work it in. Okay, so I'm done with that. Then I go through with this one. This is the Sleek and Shine Blow Dry. Again, I don't put much, and I have long hair, and I have thick hair, and I just run it through the bottoms, and really try to get the ends, because they'll just get, sad after too long. And then I go through with the heat protectant spray, and it's supposed to activate once it starts getting heated. So, hey, it's good for your hair. So now I do that. I've got everything in there. So I just take a wide comb, kind of brush it through, and I have pretty tangly hair naturally. I don't know if that means I'm doing something wrong, or that's just the hair that I was blessed with, because I have very wavy hair naturally. So it doesn't take much. I get really bad ends as well. But by brushing through it, it's going to help you when you're blow drying. It's also going to help distribute your product so it doesn't get really built up and it's evenly distributed in your hair. Your part right now doesn't matter. I mean, my hair naturally parts to that side because I have just Lord awful cowlicks that I was blessed with. But it's not a big deal right now because I finger dry my hair first. And I'll show you what finger dry is. It's just pulling it really with, giving it some boost. And then I go through with a flat brush. That's my hair on that nice brush there. And I also use a round brush to just curl it under and give it a little bit of shine. So I just recently got this awesome Infinity Eye Pro. No, I'm lying. It's just Infinity Pro. I added that eye in there. From Conair. I got it for $20 from Walmart. And I'm not going to lie, it's the best I've ever had. I looked it up online, and it compares to some $100 blow dryer that I'm not going to pay for right now. So It's really great. It only takes me maybe half the time, 5-10 minutes at the most, and my hair is completely done. So I'm going to go ahead and blow dry it. I do it on hot first, and I just do fingers, and then we'll go through the process. Okay, so I wasn't kidding. It really goes fast. So I blow dry to like 85–90% of complete dryness, and then I go ahead and I do my different layers. And like I said, none of this is necessary. You can air dry, you can just do a quick blow dry. I just found that my hair is a lot shinier. It just holds better. It just works better for me. Oh, that's not a good one. Let me use a different clip. It's kind of like my own inexpensive / free way of having a hair blowout without having to pay $40 to $70. So I split into sections because it's easy for me to do it this way. Again, I am absolutely not any type of cosmetologist or hair professional, so this is all based on what works for me and what makes my hair look the way it does. So I have this awesome action in the front going on. Then now I start using my round brush. And some people don't use theirs yet, but I like mine, so I do. So I just do it little sections at a time. You don't really want them wider than your brush because that's not going to get you anywhere. So if I do it this big, I can roll it up. Now beware of over rolling, because if you don't undo it, you're going to have a knot and you're going to have half your hair missing because you have to cut it out, and no one wants that. So I go ahead and I brush through it a couple times, and I do like a mini curl over so it really has a good grip. And then I just start blow drying down. So it makes a nice shine versus making it an afro. You can see it's really soft. Actually, you can't see that it's soft. It feels really soft, and it just has a nice little curl at the end. Nothing too dramatic because I'm going to do all that myself in a minute. But it's really soft, and it's perfectly dry, which is very important. So you just move on to the next piece. And you can see the difference. Look how it looks smooth, it just goes straight down versus this. If I let this air dry, it's a little bit shorter, it's got more frizz. It's not what I'm looking for. But it'll still work if you don't do all this, I promise. Because this is the most work right here. Without a doubt. Okay, so this I did a little different, so you can see, you can kind of do it, especially when you separate it, you can do it in a little bit bigger chunks. But it is a little bit more, let me get close enough for you to see. There's a little bit more frizz to that side than comes with this side, because it pretty much just goes straight down. So, that's just the two different ways to do it. And as I go further on, I usually get lazier. So I get in more of a hurry. But if you can see how you start, it's just got waves all down it because I have naturally wavy hair. But a little bit of blow drying and it's smooth and it's straight to start out with. And it's easier for me to work with. soft, easy to work with. And that's what we're after. It's always good to just run your fingers through your hair to really make sure that it's dry, because you really don't want your hair to be wet when you're trying to curl it. You're going to hear that nice sizzle sound, and that's not what you're looking for with your hair, ever. So for the crown, you do it a little different, and I'm a great example. My hair just, I don't know if it's because it's so long, but I've always had a problem with it going really flat. Not to mention that I think volume looks so great on other people, but when I do it, I just feel like I look crazy. So I blow dry it up and forward to make my hair kind of overcompensate for the flatness. So I brush through once and twice, and then I kind of just wrap it right here, and it's going forward a little bit, you can see. So then I'm just going to hit it with heat, and then I'm going to try to go up as much as I can, but my hair is so long that usually my arms get, you know, too short. And what I do is just kind of pull these little spares. They just can't handle it and they fly away. But I get my brush, which you can't really see because it's so far away, and I just roll it in. And then I'm going to hit it with some heat. I'm going to let it set for a second. And that's because when it's hot, it can take shape to whatever. But when it's cool, that means it's going to hold that. So it's still a little warm. You can hit it with some cold air. Sorry, I had a technical difficulty. Just make sure you unroll it. Because if you don't, see you have a little bit of volume there already, which I know doesn't look like much, but for me, trust me, we're moving mountains. And you can do that all the way back. I have to pin my bangs to the side mostly just because it drives me nuts. And I get impatient. And at this point, they're really already dry. This is just to set a shape, honestly. Now my bangs, my part always varies, you know, from time to time because I can make it a little bit deeper if I want to, but it's always on this side. I took the advice, you know, oh, you should change your part side to side. It won't happen because this kicking cowlet just says 1980s and it won't let it go. So, I live in 2000s, so we do it this way. So I like to go with my my bangs, and I just do a little hit to make them smooth and try to go over, you know, without causing those awesome cowlicks that I have. Okay, blow dry is complete. So, my hair feels really smooth. I think it looks pretty shiny from even this YouTube video, and I'm telling you, the blow dry, it counts. It's not necessary, but I used to go get my hair done all the time, and I would wonder why when I left the salon my hair felt so nice, you know, and then I would go home and it wouldn't be the same. And honestly, it's the blow dry because I had all the same products that my hairstylist had, and yet it just wasn't working the same. So if you really want the full look and you want the soft to the touch, the blow dry is the key, without a doubt. So now I'm about to use my wand, and I use Hot Shot Tools. This was about $40 from Sally Beauty Supply. It was not hard to find. It was the largest one they had, and you can see it's not very thick, maybe like 1 inch to 1.5 inches right here, and it tapers down. It also comes with this heat protectant glove, which I don't use because I don't know, I feel weird using it, but you're welcome to use it if you're afraid you're going to burn your hand. It just wasn't a problem for me because when I twirl, I use to leave just a little bit at the end because it gives it a natural look and you're not going to burn your fingers off. Because we don't want that either. So, it only takes about 1 minute to 3 minutes depending on how hot you do it. I have a lot of hair and I like it to go as fast as possible. So I keep it, you can see, there's a lot of choices here. And mine's all the way up to 450 / I guess 500. It's really hot. So that is also why when we do our curls, I only hold them for about 5 seconds. That's it. It doesn't take, like when I use a curling iron, if I'm going to do my hair, it's going to take me about 45 minutes to curl all of my hair using a regular curling iron. Hot Tools, the good ones, it's going to take me a long time. So if I use this, it's already burning hot. I just plugged it in. So right before I start my curls, I go back with the BB styling lotion. Not a lot, just spraying a little. And then I go back with the Aussie again to protect it because this is so much hotter than what I just used. And this just makes sure that you're not going to burn your hair and be that girl from the other YouTube video who burned her hair off. We don't want to be her. So now we've got stuff in our hair. And there's a lot of different ways that I do this. If I'm in a hurry, I don't even section it and I just go all the way around my head because you can kind of vary the look. But if I have time, I just do it in the same sections that I blow dry my hair in, which is the crown. I twist. And I lost my clip. Oh, that's cute. Pull that back, and then I go right behind the ears. But I like to divide that one in half just because So I wrap those up, and then I just tuck them in. Like so. Again, with a very groovy updo right now. Feel free to steal this look. It's yours to have. So, I like hairspray. This is Fructis style. I'm a Garnier fan, I really am. This is Sleek and Shine. It's the 4 Ultra Strong. Usually what I do is I just spray the whole section before I do it, because I don't want it to be so tight and crunchy. I'm not looking for that, but I do want it to hold all day. So I just divide it in the back, and then I start from the front. Now see, the problem that I used to run into when I used the wand was because it was so strong and so hot, I would do sections like about that big, let me see, yeah, that thick, and it wouldn't hold it, and it would fall, and I'd have to do it again. So you think you're saving time, but you're really not. So just do the smaller sections, and I promise it'll pay off. So maybe like an inch, inch and a half. So, okay, mind you, my hair is pretty long, and this barrel seems relatively short for this much hair. So I'm going to show you the trick that my awesome friend Christy taught me, and it gives me the waves I want without it being such a defined curl. So you start, you want it to, the thick end at the top, and then the tapered end at the bottom. I curl away from my face both ways because it's supposed to open your face up, and I just do. You're welcome to do it in lots of different directions. It's whatever you feel comfortable doing, but I like to always do it away. So you do the first one flat, and then you start to twist, and you just use your wrist and you twist it around. And this is where people make the mistake. They don't twist. They just keep their hair flat. And it's not flat. It's twisted and twisted again, if that makes sense. And that's it. And it's curled. And at the end, it's a little loose. It's a little wild. And that's because it looks a little more natural. And you can go back, and if you left a little bit too much, you can kind of tweak the ends. I do that sometimes. So if I didn't like it, I just go to the very end and just loosely pull it, just a couple seconds, and it'll curl more. So the bottom, you don't need to overdo, especially if you want it to be your longest layer. So while it's still hot, you just pull it a little, because while it's hot, it's still taking its shape. And you can already see it's a wave more than it is like a ringlet curl, because we don't want ringlet curls. I can even show you with this, once I get higher up, what can happen if you leave it flat, because I used to get these crazy Shirley Temple curls, and it was not what I was wanting at all. So again, wide, and then start to twist your hair while you're going around the barrel, because that's what makes the waves that aren't so obviously curled. And there we go. And you just keep going around your head. Oh, that one needs to go back. And you're going to be tempted a lot to do bigger sections than what you need to do. And I'm telling you, you will have to do them over, and it gets so frustrating because you're trying to get done faster, and it's counterproductive. So just 5 seconds. Drop. Ooh, got a little spare hair there. And I just pull, because sometimes like the smaller they are, they're going to be tighter. So you just pull, and they relax a little bit. And just, as you can see, I'm not just twisting it flat. I have to turn the hair while it goes around the barrel. You just hold it. And you can see I'm holding my hair right here. I probably have not even a half an inch that I'm holding. And the top is always going to be a little loose because it's on the bottom and you don't need to curl all the way to the top of your head. So, we've got one side done already. And I promise if you're in a hurry, I mean, this is taking longer because I'm standing here explaining it. If you're not explaining them, you know, like I am right now. Uh-oh, I lost you. There you are. It goes very quickly. This morning, I got up at 7 o'clock to go to be work at 8, and it took me 15 to 17 minutes to curl my entire head before I got to work. I mean, and it was completely done. It was perfect. It was just how I wanted it. It's not something, when I used to curl my hair, it used to have to be something I would do, 2 hours, make a big plan for it before I went out somewhere. This is an easily done before work. This is when you have just a hot second to throw something together. This is what you can do. And these give you more of the beachy waves, the Victoria's Secret, just big, loose, volume curls, which is obviously what we're going for because we're all Victoria's Secret models deep down inside. And you can roll it up while you're twisting. Sometimes I'll start like in the middle of the strand, and I'll just roll up while I'm twisting my hair, and it still accomplishes. Now see, I have a little bit less than what I usually like right here, so I'll just grab the very end and wrap it just for a couple seconds, and it's done. Okay, bottom is done. Just leave it because it's still warm and it's still taking its shape. So you take down your next section, which is still super soft from my awesome blow dry. Okay, so I start in the back just because it's easier for me to not have to go over the hair that I've already done. You don't have to do it that way, again. See, if I wasn't twisting my hair around the barrel and I was just wrapping it flat, my hair's too long and I always would run out of space and I would have to do it twice as long because I'd have to redo the same piece of hair just on the bottom. And that is silly. So this is the whole strand curled, as you can see, and it stays the whole day. I actually can curl my hair like this, go to sleep, wake up the next morning, it's still curled, and I can just tweak it, and that's it. And this is the only time curling my hair that's ever worked. So maybe it's just my luck and fortune, but I highly doubt it because hair has never been my luck and fortune. So, and sometimes you'll have these little pieces. I have one that shot out, and you can just fix that little piece in the end. It's not worth taking my whole head down with what I've just done. So that comes out, and it's loose, and it's just what I want, but my ends are a little wild. Okay. It is all in the wrist when you're twisting it, because when I first started doing this, I used to try to constantly be twisting with my fingers, and it just didn't come out right. But if I twist my wrist while I wrap it around the barrel, it comes out perfect every time. There it goes. Now, so you have to be careful of doing it too wide like I just did right here, because that's how you start that Shirley Temple tight curl. That's not what we're wanting. But it's okay because it's on the bottom. And I twist my wrist, and I twist it. Just try to be careful that you don't burn yourself, because if your hair is not the length that you're needing it to be when you come around that last little wave, you might touch the barrel, and I promise you, you're not going to forget it because it is hot. Like 500 degrees hot. So that end was shooting out when I finished it, so if I pull it down a little, like that, it comes a little bit looser, and it just makes itself into a curl versus just jetting straight out, which is not what we want. Okay, so we'll go to the next side. And my hair has started to get a little bit wavy since whenever I wrapped it up to put it in the clips. But if I wouldn't have done that, I could have just gone out with straight hair and not even had to straighten it, which for me is just shocking. And try not to overlap the hair, because if you overlap it, your top curl is not going to come out right because it's not directly on the barrel, and you want it to be directly on there. So see, I used kind of a thick piece, so I'm going to hold it a little bit longer. You can see it's thicker than my other ones, but it's still going to come out okay. Still good. And it might look funny at first when it comes out because it looks, I don't know, oddly wavy, maybe you could say. But after we're done curling all the hair, it'll be really quick. Okay, see, so I started too low on the barrel, so I ran out of room. So I just don't let go of the hair completely, and you just go back. Hang on, let me grab this piece. You don't have to let go completely when you're doing this. You can just kind of loosen it up, and then, you know, move it. So, very curly, very quick. Trying to make sure you can see it because my shirt's a little dark. Divide. And also, another thing I like about these curls, when you use a curling iron, especially if you have hair that's difficult to curl and you have to use a lot of hairspray, you can't even run your fingers through it because it's so crunchy and you know you'll lose your curl if you even, you know, touch it. The great thing about these curls is, yes, I do use a little bit of product and some hairspray, but not so much that you can't run your fingers through it. It's fun. It feels like you're just that girl who has that naturally awesome hair when you go to the beach. Don't know who that girl is, but it's not me. I did a little spray because I forgot to spray it before I did it, and it doesn't matter, honestly. I kind of like to pick it up a little. Again, I'm always fighting for volume because it's just not my friend. You can already see it looks super curly, especially at the bottom, which is not, this look is not what you're looking for, but I promise it'll make sense once I'm finished. And my hair's all caught up in the clip. Okay. So, I like to do this in 3 sections. I do the far side opposite my part first. Then I divide my part line. That's just what works best for me. You also could go back, middle, and then front. Just whatever works for you. Now these are the ones you're going to want to really make sure you're getting the curl you want because they're on the top. So I like to get it close to the scalp because my hair, like I said, falls. Some of the tutorials I've seen, they tell you to start halfway through your head, and you can absolutely do that. But mine's going to fall down anyways. As you see, my first curl doesn't really start till right here, even though I had it curled all the way to the top. So it's very, very curly. So I just pull it a little, and it'll fall. And also, don't worry when it comes to volume or super curl, because your hair and curls will fall. But they're not going to fall out like they do when you get that super, you know, prom curly hair. So these are thinner pieces, so it really doesn't take long at all. And also this front piece, I have to be careful because I have bangs. Not dramatic bangs, but they are shorter than the rest of my hair. So I want to make sure that I don't accidentally get a piece of my bangs in here because it won't curl all the way right. And it just doesn't look the way you want it to. This little end, yeah, okay. I'm going to recurl this little end part. Sometimes you have to be careful when you have really thin parts at the end because they go a little crazy sometimes. They just shoot out, and that's not what you're looking for. Okay, so now onto my part. And sometimes I try to find a natural part, but sometimes when I find my natural part, it just looks jagged and wild. So if that's what you want, go for it. I'm pretty OCD about way too many things. Ask my husband. And I can't stand that, so I have to use my comb to find it. And I dropped it, so I have to do it over. Oh, I missed a piece. Okay. So I just go through and find it, and you can kind of alter, I mean, you know where your part is. So just do what looks best. So I do this part last just because it's on the, doesn't have any part of my bangs. And I start on the back here because but I make sure I pull my hair out and I get all the bang, it sounds funny, all of the parts of my bangs that hang out. So like I said, they're not really bangs because they're all the way down here, but they're much different than the rest of my hair. I'm growing out my bangs if you couldn't tell. So I try to keep these pinned so I can come back to that also. This is really the important times when you have to stick with the 1-inch pieces so you get the curls you want on top. All while twisting your hand. It's a perfect curl, not gonna lie. Worked out great. And sometimes you're going to have those stubborn pieces that just don't want to curl the way you want them to. So there's occasional times I have to recurl a piece, and I'll recurl about twice, and after that, it's just not working. So I either try to use some type of product or I hide it because I don't want to burn my hair. It's not worth it. Okay, so that piece also shot out a little more than I like it to at the end. So I just grab as little piece as possible to hold on to at the end without burning myself. And now it's curled under perfectly. So and I would like to curl backwards from the front. Just gives it a little bit more volume. And it's curling away from my face. Okay, now onto my bangs. And for my bangs, usually I break them up into 2 pieces. They're really small, but I just find that it works better that way, because they're not quite all the same length. So this way it just gives a full shape. Oh, got little spare hairs here falling out. And the last little one here on this side. Okay, so here's this side. It's finished right now. It looks super curly, I know. Don't worry, we're going to fix it to where it looks how you want it to look. Relaxed and normal. That's my problem with most of the tutorials when I was looking for ones that talked about, how to use your wand. They were either so wavy that you couldn't tell that I actually tried to curl my hair, or they were so tight that it looked like you had ringlets, which also is not what I'm going for right now. And sometimes I will have my barrel like horizontal at first, but I always make sure that I put it vertical so it'll just drop straight down without being a super, roll up, because that's not what we're going for. Just got 2 more pieces. Sorry if I sound country in this. I try hard not to, but it happens from time to time. And then my last piece, and see, like right here, I usually have a problem because this little baby hair just usually doesn't want to participate with the rest of the class, so it has to get special attention, and I'll go back over just using the heat without, I can't curl it because if I curl it, it just gets crazier. Okay, but see what happened here? Super curly. Super curly. It's not what we were wanting. So I pull that out, like, as soon as it happens. Because that gets that crazy curl that I just don't want. So I can just run my whole finger down it and it pops right back. So don't worry that you're going to run your finger through and you're going to lose your curl, because this is Exhibit A. You're not losing your curl. So right here, like I said, I don't know if you can see it, a little craziness. So I usually just take the barrel and very carefully just run this over it and kind of flatten it out. That way it's just not shooting out, because it's not good. So here is when you first finish what you have working. It's all the way through, at least it should be. And a lot of curl. So what you're going to do, first, I like this Bumble and Bumble Defrizz. You don't have to use the Bumble and Bumble version. They have Garnier, they have every hair product has it, so you can get a really inexpensive version. I don't use a lot. Whoop, what's wrong one? I don't know if you can see that. But it's just maybe like a dime's worth. And it just shines and defrizzes. And that's right, I'm just running my hands down my curls. I'm not babying them like you used to if you're trying to keep your other kind of curls. I'm running my fingers through them, because that's what gives it the natural body look. Okay, so I'm going to flip my head up and down. Whoop. There's a lot of body in my hair now. I personally don't care for this look. I like it back there. You can just see there's a lot of wave. It's fake natural looking, because who wakes up with their hair looking like this? Whoever they are, I'm jealous. And you just run your fingers through it and you just kind of pull on it a little. And I promise it will fall some. I don't have a lot of natural volume here, so I usually will go through with a comb and just pick it a little. You don't have to do this. This is just me because I have none, like I said. And I'll do like 2 layers in the front right here. That's in major because, like I said, I can't handle major. It makes me feel weird. It looks beautiful on other people, but when I actually get volume in my hair, I feel like Snooki, and that's not who I'm trying to be. So I do this side. Just brush it through a little bit so it's not sticking out crazy. I go through the back. And if you do like a lot of volume, you can just go to town and use a lot of spray. The only place I use spray for mine is in the back. And it falls anyways usually because I don't do enough, because I can't stomach the first look whenever it's, to the ceiling. So I only do 2 layers. If I'm going somewhere or I'm going out at night or something, not that I go out at night, that's funny. People who know me will know that's funny. But if I'm going to do something where I want to actually look like I have volume, I'll do like 3 or 4 all the way down and just give it some real poof. I love the poof, I can't handle it on my head. Power to you all who can. So I get it here, and then I also get this little Conair brush that I got for $2. And I go back there, and I poof it some more. I found that this one really works for my hair, because even my hairdresser said that my hair just doesn't like to hold it for some reason. But it just kind of smooths it out after you're done. Okay, so here's your look. First and foremost, it's done. It's wavy. It's got some curl and some body. I take it a step further, and I like to use the B&B Texture Cream. It says hair undressing cream, which I don't know what that means, but okay. So I use just about this much of it, and you can use whatever kind of cream, or you don't have to do this. But it's like a not as tough version of a hair gel, maybe like a pomade, and then just kind of run it through, and it'll give it some definition without it being super curled, but it will hold. And I just go through and it's nice because there's no crazy flyaways. I don't have crazy frizz. There's no real frizz in my curls. It's just loose. It goes all the way through. You can see there's body in my hair. And I can still run my fingers all the way through it. It's not crunchy. It's not yucky. And I can go to sleep with it. I can go to work with my hair like this. I can go to sleep. And it will still be wavy. It'll be a little bit looser, but it's still a good look. And it's really easy. And if I wasn't telling you how to do it, I promise it only would have taken me 15 to 20 minutes. So this is how you do it. Good luck, and I hope it works out for you. Thanks.